Okay, here we go. Very large blank here. I don't know, it's probably 14, 15 inches. My lathe only do 16, so it's mounted on a screw chuck. I used the hole that I used for making the circular cutting jig thing. Of course, I'm bringing the headstock up. I always take a forstner bit and kind of dig this part out so I'm not into the bark, I'm actually into the wood. It's just much more solid and much safer. I'm going to put my face shield on because there's a lot of crap going to be coming off of this thing. And I'm digging out my super flute gouge. This is a P&N. It's an Australian company. This is a big gouge. That's my regular 3/8 inch gouge that I use for most things, and this is the super flute. So it's pretty big. It's great for doing this. Oh, there you go. The blank is actually hitting the banjo. Change the angle here. I took the mini chainsaw that I have and just knocked the corners off here. It doesn't take very long, and it just makes this a lot less exciting. So I'm going to start at really low speed to start. I'm going to ramp it up and see how much wiggle I can handle. About 600 RPM. I don't really want to go any faster than that until I get it more balanced. Wood is so wet, I'm actually getting sprayed with sap. I guess it's not really water. Move the tool rest in. Okay. Add some speed to it. About 800 RPM. That's why I use this super flute gouge. I'm taking, that's a 1/2 inch, 12 mil, close enough, 1/2 inch cut right there. Now it is green lumber, but you can remove a lot of stuff with this gouge quickly. This is all still bark, so it's got to go. This is going to be a pretty shallow bowl, actually. I got to get rid of all this before I can start thinking about where I'm going to put the tenon for the chuck. So I'm going to work on that. That's 1,000 RPM. Yeah, still got a lot of ways to go yet. Almost got rid of all the bark, but my gouge is really dull, so I'm going to take a break here and sharpen it. I'm back. Did you miss me? Okay, I'm back with a 1/2 inch gouge. I'm going to just get this last little bit of bark off of here, then I'm going to true up the tenon, and then I'm going to work on the shape here. There's lots of cuts on here. I'm kind of using the gouge as a scraper, and it's just I just want to make this fairly smooth. I mean, this is just a rough turning, so it doesn't have to be beautiful or anything because it's a rough turning. It's going to dry and warp and everything like that, so it doesn't really matter. But I like to get it fairly smooth so I have a better idea of the shape that I want. I'm just going to true up the tenon here. Oops. Okay, now I gotta flip it around. Stay tuned. Just thought I'd show you what I do here when I flip it around. So I've got my tenon on the back there. I lock the lathe and then I undo it from the screw chuck. That's the screw chuck. That goes back on the wall. Not a really big tenon when you're doing the coring with the McNaughton jig, because it puts a lot of stress on the whole lathe and everything. The last thing you want to do is break your bowl off. I kind of leave the tenons as large as I can also because when they dry they warp, so you don't want to have it close. You guys that turn know what I'm talking about. Wood compresses, so you always tighten things up 2 or 3 times, because you tighten it up and then it compresses a bit and you tighten it up again. So first thing I'm going to do is actually I'm going to make a tenon here, interior tenon here for this little chuck here. The reason why is when I take out a core, I'm going to use that little tenon to mount this back on to put a tenon on the back side of the bowl, of the one that I take out. So that's first. And I've got a little thing here, kind of a go no go gauge that I can just easily gauge that with. And like they always say in these videos, this is what I do, this is not a tutorial. Use your own discretion. Don't do what I do. Do what you think is safe. A lot of guys think I turn too fast. I like turning fast. So anybody who doesn't know, see, this you can grip stuff on the inside or you can grip stuff on the outside by expanding the jaws here. So that's going to just go in like that, expand out. I'm going to actually make that just a little bit deeper. Now look at it now, it's a bit shallow. I don't know if it shows up in the video there, but there's a bit of a wobble on this, and that's because this Nova Titan 3 chuck that I have, from the very beginning it's had a little bit of a wobble to it. So when you take something and you have it on there and you reverse it around the other way, there's always a little bit of a wobble. Right now I'm green turning, so I'm not really concerned about it. Anyways, so now I'm going to mark this out and get to coring. That's the exciting part. It's scary as hell for me. I'm still a newbie at it, so haven't quite figured it out yet. But you'll get to see it all in living color. Okay, so generally you go 10%. So this is just over 30, so you want to go 3 centimeters. So I'm going to go, I'll start from the 10 and go to the 7. It's about there. And then the blade is about that wide. Oh, hang on, I need this. Still need this one here. Do the magic pencil trick. Okay. Then we'll have a bowl that's 22 and a bit, so we'll go about 2 and a bit. And then the final bowl will be whatever's left over. That's there'll be another bowl here, right? So this will be a bowl Probably about that wide. So there'll be one bowl here, another bowl here, another bowl here. So it'll be basically 1, 2, 3 bowls. So 1, 2, and 3 bowls. If everything goes right and I don't make a funnel or lampshade. So for the McNaughton Coring rig, I have 4 knives. I have 2 of the minis and 2 of the regulars or mediums or originals or whatever. Because this is big and heavy, I'm going to try to use the regulars or whatever you want to call them. Generally they say you should put this on here and take a look at the curve of the bowl. So that one matches pretty closely. So what I do, and I also have a laser to make sure I don't make or try not to make a lampshade, is I line this up here and I picture, okay, I see where my starting point is. I look backwards and make a point on the wall. That's that point right there. And then I eyeball it, and then I kind of move it in its curve. See, that's too deep. So I want to go shallower. So to do that, I got to move the back end of this out. So now if I start there, that's better. Okay, so not there, but there. Probably I'll end up turning this just slightly. Turn that a bit, I gotta move it out a bit. Do not take this as a way to do this because I'm still learning. Now the other thing that I've found out, probably the most important thing, actually I needed to do this first. And I found this out the hard way. For me, so far, the most critical thing is when I'm near the very end here, I'm at distance, I gotta make sure that the cutting point there is right at the center line. See there, I'm a bit low. If you're a bit low, it just beats you up like crazy and you think your whole lathe is gonna fall apart, and bad words are said, as Mr. Grumbine always says. So I'm gonna raise that up a little bit. I have a collar here. I don't know if you can see that in the video. No, you can't. I have a collar around the tool post here, so I can set the depth to whatever I want. And I learned the hard way that the different knives have different height settings. I don't know, and maybe that's wrong, but that's the way it seems to work for me. So now right at the end here, and that's the other thing, this knife has a bit of play in it, and when it's cutting it gets torqued down. So you see there, I'm still just a tiny bit low. I think I'd rather be on the low side than the high side, but it's still just a bit lower than I'd like. So I'm going to raise it up again just a hair, just a smidge. Oh, come on, go up. Collar down. Sorry you can't see that. This is supposed to be a vlog. It's going to be a pretty long vlog. I'll do some heavy editing. Okay, and that's torqued over, and that's right about middle. So that should work pretty good. Okay, now I got to go through setting this thing up again. Hopefully by the time I get through all these bowls that I have to cut, I'll be much more experienced at this. In the past, I've only ever had like 1 or 2 blanks to go through. And so that starts there. Hard as you do with this face mask off. That's a bit shallow, so that means I want to turn this slightly and come out more. And I got a laser on here. Frickin' lasers. So I think I got it set up. Okay, I finally got that set up. Don't know if you can see that on there or not, but there's a laser dot on the very edge of that there. So hopefully that'll stop me from making lampshades. Okay, I'm going to slow the lathe down to 800-ish. And I will prepare to change my underwear. Wish me luck. I have to adjust the angle of the top. My laser fell off. Bloody lot of good that thing did me. It just ditched me. I have to do it by the hand the rest of the way. Well, still not close. Not quite. Man, that's getting close. The whole thing, everything's moving here. The banjo's moved, the tool post moved, everything's moved. Just, I don't know. This might be just too much for this lathe, I guess, is my thinking. But the smaller ones it seems to do okay, but these bigger ones, man, it's a struggle. The struggle is real. Okay, so put this thing aside. My laser took a dive somewhere over there. So now you see, I'll finish this one up, and then this one I put back in there, put a tenon on the back here again, and basically repeat the procedure. If I can get 2 more bolts out of, I don't know. Anyways, that's going to be it for now. I'll just show you, I'll show myself cleaning this one up just because that's kind of fun to watch. And I didn't make a funnel or a lampshade-ish. Not the greatest bowl, but it'll do. Okay, bring my speed back up. Where's my half-inch gouge? There it is. Hitting on the banjo. Understand, I'm not really down on my lathe here. I'm really pushing the limits here. This is really kind of a max of this thing. I'm actually going to turn the outside of this because it's wobbling so much, and that means it's going to be, the thickness isn't going to be consistent, and you really want the thickness to be consistent when you're drying. Less likely to crack then. The left-hand turning for you. Well, that took out the bounce. Clean up that edge. I don't like to leave a sharp edge. I find that's a place where a crack can form. Yeah, I wanted to check. Oh, there's another crack in this bloody blank. Jeez. No pith at least. Okay, I'm going to keep on going here. That'll be it for today. Kind of a long one, but the thing I got to do with this oak, I got to spray the ways down. Otherwise, everything just rusts. Maybe you can see that in the video. I left this tool rest sitting in the shavings for, oh, might have been 15 or 20 minutes, and it's completely rusted. It's just, man. To stick that in a viral wrap or rust or whatever that stuff's called. Anyways, that's it for today, and I'll be back doing some more of this and scaring myself silly. Thanks for watching. Take care.
A few moments later.
Experiment. I saw a guy on YouTube do this. He didn't use the big handle. I'm going to just try this. Still putting it on my face though. I think I got it lined up right. And I know it's sharp because I just sharpened it. So let's see how this works. deep a cut. Try that again. Well, that sure was a lot less drama, wasn't it? Why can't I do that on the big one? You'd see it was a little bit grabby there, but I mean that's two nice little blanks here, and that was rather undramatic. Interesting. Stay tuned. Little end card here. I just wanted to say I really don't know the McNaughton Coring rig very well, as you can see by watching the video, but I'm working at it. I got about another 20 blanks to go, 19 maybe, so hopefully I'll get better at it. Anybody out there who knows this machine or this rig well that can give me some pointers, I'm all ears. Just here to learn. I'm showing you what I'm trying to do, and maybe somebody out there can tell me that I'm a dummy for doing this or doing that. Anyways, that's it. If you stayed and watched this long, I really appreciate it. This was supposed to be a short little vlog, but it turned into like a 25-minute video. That's it. It's time to go to bed. Take care. Everybody be safe. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. And do take care.